Bumps and bruises, scratches and scrapes, all the ingredients that a good life makes. But sorrows become success. And as we aim for the top, we will pause if we must, but we will never stop. Welcome to Sim Soul Sessions. Hi everybody and welcome to Sim Soul Sessions, a safe space to share your stories. Tonight's Soul Session features philanthropist Auntie Donna Gowe, who has built a reputation of giving that has won her many fans, and yes, some foes. And she shares why none of the negative has derailed her and so much more about her life. Before that though, and ahead of our season finale next week, can you believe it? Next week, we're giving you a look back at some of the most amazing moments of season 5.
Not gonna come out of this. So, when the doctor come check me now, and I was like, Doc, I'm not gonna dead, though. He was like, no, man. He was assuring me that, you're not gonna dead, you're not gonna dead. Mm-hmm. It's like, nobody has ever died from this procedure before. And I was like, but what if I'm the first? I don't wanna die.
And what is the reason that I will give to my pain? Because there's a certain access that your pain gives to you. And this is the very reason I accepted your interview. Our stories are not just stories.
The strength we have and the drive. If ever push, especially me. You see me? Them thing that I could ask you a better sister. I don't know what I'm gonna do without you. My career would even begin. More than that. Yo, Jano. Words can't express how I feel about you, my sister. Just know that.
I know it hasn't been easy, and I know persons would like to probably handcuff you to your past, but you are so much more than that. You're so much more resilient, so much more knowledgeable based on everything that you've gone through, and everything happens for a reason, Peps.
I have people.
You're not alone. You are not alone, Pepita Little. You may feel alone, but you are not alone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really needed to hear all of that. I know, everybody expects me to be this strong girl all the time, and sometimes I don't feel so strong. But that really uplifted me a while ago. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. I love you all.
You do a good thing for us. You help us to lower violence and anything then. The school is the best thing for right now. You do a good thing to make your street this institution. God help me myself, because in the future I like to become an artist. And my teacher, Mr. Brown, he help us too. Because that's do a good thing for us then. Help use them to more and more meditation, one more firmer meds. You know, so when they go back a road, them now do not look foolishness. I look up to him as a hero. He's a hero to me.
I hope for the best for you, and I want to see you at the top of what you're doing. And I am certain that there will be no regrets there, because I believe in you. I have trust in you to know that you are going to head for the top. Not with pride, not with boasting, but with love. That you, and I'm certain you will. So take God's hand with you, my daughter. I love you. Daddy loves you a lot. You know that. I don't have to tell you that, do I? Yes, but I want to tell you again. Daddy loves you, my daughter. Even the ground you walk on.
I love you too, Julie. So many.
You pulled out my dad and my uncle. Oh my God! And to hear my dad and my uncle say they love me and they believe in me.
Your daddy said down to the ground you walk on. I felt that in my foot bottom. What more could you want to hear?
That shame dies when stories are told in safe spaces.
Amen. Say it again.
Shame dies when stories are told in safe spaces. And I want to be in the room. I want to do my part to be in the rooms, to just see to it that we are able to shed some of these things.
And I just thought, what if we could get, maybe
you
a Zoom in?
contemplated it? Mommy's not technologically savvy,
Who tell you so?
Of course.
Glory, please to punch up mommy on Zoom for me, please. Punch up mommy on Zoom. What? She's a joke. She's not on Zoom. She's not on Zoom. She's right here. We flew your mommy in from St. Lucia.
God bless you. I love you too, darling. God bless you. Wow.
Hi, Nyla.
And I started 2022 saying thank you, because I just start thanking in advance.
In
You
advance.
are going to work it out. Thank you. So this year 0, thank you.
Wow. So many amazing moments of magic from this season. And we're going to add one more show and many more moments when we come back. We're talking to tonight's guest, Auntie Donna Gowe on Sim Soul Sessions. Take a break. We're back with her after this. Welcome back to the show, everybody. So, Donna Gowe is a mother, a baker, a cake maker, philanthropist, a human being who is living her life in service to others and in service to God. Since 2019, millions of dollars have passed through her hands to help others whose lives have been changed forever. And people have loved her for it, but she's also experienced some negativity. And tonight she's going to share her journey with us and why she's still on the mission and she's not going to be diverted. Everybody's favorite auntie, Auntie Donna joins us now. Hello there.
Hi, welcome.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you for being in my space.
Thank
should I
you.
vex with you or should I don't vex with you?
Don't vex with me.
Don't vex. We have asked Auntie Donna to be here before, but as we said when we spoke, nothing before the right
Nothing done before the right timing. Yes.
What was the hesitation before?
At the time, you know, I was just doing it and never wanted to be highlighted by the press. Reason being, I used to say what I was doing, the press had the opportunity to highlight persons who were less fortunate or who were living in certain situations, and I never saw them doing it. So that was one of the main reasons why I said, if I have a little smartphone and I can do this, then the press is bigger than Auntie Donna, so they should have seen it. But actually, over the years, you know, I started to look back and said, it takes a different person to do a different thing. So Auntie Donna brings it to the forefront. Then after that, I see different media outlets reaching out to me, and I said, when the time is right, I will. Sorry for turning you down, but now was the right time.
No apologies necessary.
Yes.
I'm glad you're here, and I
Yes.
agree, you know, the right time is always the right time.
Definitely.
How are you dealing with that, though? All of the press coverage and the media coverage, it happens so fast.
Definitely. You know, the social media kind of allowed me to deal with it. The social media, I'm constantly in front of my phone, so I see the feedback. And you know, the most negativity, you don't see it around you. You see it in front of your phone on social media, because you get to see the comments and you get to hear what people say, quote unquote. When you are in the real world, you don't hear that much. If somebody has something to say about you, you might not hear. But once you're on social media, you actually is gonna hear it.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about your relationship with social media now, and how you've had to kind of grow thick skin to deal with it. But I find it so incredible that in the middle of you trying to live your best life and help other people to live their best life, people are criticizing you for it. And
yes.
That's a hard thing to have to deal with, and it was hard for you at first. You say you're good with it now.
Yes, definitely.
But we're going to talk about it. But let's talk about Auntie Donna, the lady who is always smiling. I said to you, Donna, nobody can smile and happy all the time. So I said there must be a story in there somewhere.
Wow. You know, I get that asked a lot. People always say, why you're always this happy person. We don't know if you are sad. What I try to understand and learn in life is that you allow people to know what you want them to know. And I learned that late in life. Social media is a place that can move you positively forward and negatively backwards. So if I'm going through a rough time, when I go on my phone, nobody can't know unless I want them to know. There were times back when negativity used to affect me so much that I would go on platforms and my head would chip.
Your head chip?
Yes. And actually, when I look back at the chip heads, am I sorry? No. But could I have done better? Yes.
Meaning you used to just tell people?
I used to just tell people what's on my mind, because I'm a straightforward person. So if you do something that upset me, I'm not the type to go in the closet and whisper to myself. I'll just express how I feel. But I've learned over the years that my expression of how I feel might not always be the right way for others. So somebody might have said something or do something that I was upset about, and in me handling the situation, I realized that I might have hurt the person that actually did something to me. So I have learned to overcome that and look at things a bit differently.
So in the person hurting you and you responding, you're saying, you're looking at the fact that you may have hurt them and you don't want to do that.
Yes, by the way I approach them, the way I answer them, and the way I talk. So you see what I'm trying to say.
And it's almost like, you know, people have come to expect so much more of you now because you're Auntie Donna.
Yes.
And Auntie Donna is this person who people are putting on a pedestal.
Lord Jesus.
It's something that you kind of wish wasn't the case, because you are a human being. You want people to know you're a human being.
I want people to know me for as Donna Gowe, and as Auntie Donna, the brand that person see me as. They have to understand that all behind that, the social media, entrepreneur, philanthropist, there's a soft side to Auntie Donna where I will look strong in front of the camera, and behind the camera I'm this weak person. Sometimes I do cry, but not out in the loud. I do it. I used to do it on camera. If something's really hurt me, it shows in my face. It shows in my voice. But now I've learned to, scale down on that a bit and just be happy for everybody.
You've grown to stardom. You're walking here today, everybody calling Auntie Donna,
yes,
Auntie Donna.
Yes.
And sometimes you say you wish you could go back to your childhood because it was so much simpler then?
Yes, it was so much simpler. Growing up, as you mentioned, as my childhood days, looking back where I'm coming from, I see that I had the best life coming up. When I said the best life coming up, I was a happy child in a certain sense that waking up and sweeping up the yard, going to the river, doing chores. At the time, to me, it was hard. But looking back, it was something that molded me to be who I am today. It was something that I love doing. You hear the birds in the morning, the fowler crow, and I wake up the country life. So it has, and you don't get to hear or see that kind of lifestyle playing out in this. Although you have time changes, but it was a good place for me, and I will never forget it.
Growing with both your grandparents.
Yes.
Because your mom had you, but you weren't very close to her.
No.
She had many other children.
Yes. Actually, she have 7 of us. One died, and we left back with 6. I am the oldest of all of them, and I resented my mother while growing up. Reason being, I don't like to talk about it.
It's okay.
My mother left me at the market, so when she was very young, she had me at the age of 16, and I never understood why, I used to ask my grandmother, she never knew why either. She would say, well, me don't know why she do it, ask her. And I kept asking my mother, she never yet answered. So I felt resented. When growing up, my mother would take the next kids with her on the road, or she would give them things, but she never seems to pay me any mind. And a lot of the time she would say, go to your papa family, country people would say that, go to your papa family, make them give you. But actually, I got some closure just the other day. I was on my live and I were talking, and I asked her, somebody said, remember, we were talking about something and I was mentioning my mother, and somebody in the comments said, remember your mother there at the back? Dear, so be careful what you said. And actually, I said to my mother on the live, not knowing what the reply was going to be, I said, why you give me away? And she actually said, I was raped.
What?
By your father. I was so shocked, because at no point in time had my father told me that, and at no point in time had my mother told me that, because over the years asking her, she would just never answer. She would say, don't question me. That was the type of reaction I would get from her. And I asked her after I came off the live, why didn't you say something to me? She said she never felt the need to. It was something that she never wanted anybody to know, because what happened to her was really hurtful, and she just, and at the time she said my father had threatened her never to speak is what he was going to do. So she just kept it, but she resented me for what happened to her, and I finally got some closure as to what allowed her to not even want to have me as a child, not even want to see me in her presence. So she took, as my grandmother would say, she took my father fat and fried me. When I think that's wrong for parents who are children who are product of rape. As I always said, the parents take it out on the child. I can see it with 50-50, but as a mother, you bring a child into this world who don't know how she gets here or he gets here. I don't think that, regardless of the circumstances, that you bring the child here, and I don't think you should take it out on the child. That's just my opinion.
You boxed me with that one day.
Wow,
Because you didn't tell me. I'm telling you what
I never
we're
even know.
learning.
I actually heard after I spoke to you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, more than Auntie Donna on the other side. My work.
Yeah.
Soon come. All right, come.
Yeah.
Lots of people learning about Donna today. Even our closest friend is saying I never knew that. You're quoting scripture on me now because your faith is a big thing we're going to get into.
Yes.
But you said you had always said you felt like the rejected
Yes,
stone.
growing up, I used to say that I was the rejected stone. So a lot of persons never understood why I use that term. So people would say, oh, because she never get chosen for this or she never this. But I knew why I said I was the rejected stone. I remember one time I was sitting with my grandmother because I used to read the Bible for my grandmother early in the mornings. I had other cousins and siblings and she never chose them. So I remember I used to sit with her on the step. We had this step that you step up to go in the house, and she used to sit there. Sometimes she would be molding chocolate in the mortar, and I was very talkative, even now. I was the one that loved to ask questions, and I would say, Granny, I used to call her Granny at the time, and I would say, Granny, you know, say, every time I go around my mother, she run me. You know, say, she nah give me nothing because I used to carry news to my granny. Like anything happen, you know, say she go down and she pick off your breadfruit or she pick your chocolate, you know. And I say, what make she not like me though? What make she give me away out of everybody? I threw me black and favor my father because at the time, at that age, my father never owned me.
Your father
He
didn't
never
claim
wanted,
you until you
no.
were 16.
He never owned me. He never even, if I was there and I saw him coming, I would run. Because him going come and say, go your yard. At the time, he kept saying I wasn't his child. But when you look at my dad, it was like him see himself, so he couldn't text. And she said to me, I said to her, why my mother always don't want to talk to me? Why this, why that? And she looked at me and she said, the stone that the builder refused will become the head cornerstone one day. And I never forget it. And over the years, I have always been saying it. And, you know, I actually said it a couple weeks ago. My mother got into an accident that she fell and she rolled over the gully. I have sisters in America. They don't look at my mother like how I do. They will call and check up, etc. But it is my priority. It is, I think I am obligated to take care of my mother. So I was there tidying her off and I said to her, boy, life funny, every time something happened to you or anything with you is me and you never liked me when I was a child. At that point, she never even said anything. And I said, look who I tidy you, look who I look after you, look who I see to it that you went to the doctor and stuff like that. She still never, she only said, God bless you. And I said to my mother, the stone that the builder refused always become the head cornerstone. And she never ever said anything, she just was there. And I look back at it now, I am the head cornerstone for my mother right now because she never liked me. She carried me to give me away. And who is here taking care of her now? And that is why I always use the term, the rejected stone.
So but you went to live with your father eventually?
Yes, yes. When my grandmother, that is my father's mother, came to Jamaica, because she wasn't living here. She used to live in Atlanta and the Bahamas. So she actually never knew about me, but my father's mother, grandmother, that is her mother, always said that you have a granddaughter down here, if you ever see her, she's a splitting image of Errol. At the time, you never had smartphone. I think my father used to be a photographer, but he would never take my picture, so she couldn't see it. So my grandmother actually came one, I think it was March or April. She came to Jamaica from the Bahamas, and she came, and when she came, I went to the airport, first time going to the airport, and she was in awe. She said, Lord Jesus, none of my grandpitney them no favor, none of them father like how you favor Errol. And she looked at me and she said, you are my granddaughter. I'm going to take you away with me. And she never left me. She was in so much awe that when she see me, she said, my God, and Errol say, you no feel pitney, him wicked, because I actually look like the boy virgin to my dad. I walk like him, I look like him, I act like him. And she took me to the Bahamas. At the time, my grandmother never wanted me to live there. So they do everything. My other grandmother, that is my mother say, I no push pitney, because I push pitney alone, you know, then give it. So it was a risk, so they had to bring me back. While I was there, I met my father, brothers and sisters, Deidre, Carvey, all of them in the Bahamas, and they were astonished at how I looked like my father. So they called him. He used to work on the ship at the time. I think it was Carnival Cruise Line, and they said to him, "Why this little girl, you don't own her? This is our blood." And him still was saying on the phone, "I know my pitney." And actually, at that time, I was 12. So when he goes away, he would come off the ship and go into America and stay. And he came to Jamaica, I think, when I was 15. And I remember all the things that he used to do me when he was here. I remember I still have to run from him. He used to see me in the corner and point and say, "Go your yard." Those were the exact words. And when he came now, I was a teenager. I could speak for myself. So my grandmother said to me, "Your father is here, you want to talk to him." I said, "I don't have a father," because this man said, "He's not my father." So anyway, I went back. I never went and saw him, go inside and see him. And the evening, she cooked. Normally I go for my dinner, and I went in the kitchen and I saw him, and he said to me, "You look so much like me." Wow. Say me and your father. And me have the plate in my hand, and I was like, "Really, no?"
What was that like?
It was shocking, and I never ever embrace him or anything. I just come out back with the food, go eat, and I say, all these years. Because his family was telling him that he should.
But we have to go to break down, but he eventually got sick.
Yes. Wow.
He passed last year.
He took me. He passed last year. Fast forward, he took me at 16 to live with him. He bought a house in Red Hills, etc., and he took me to live with him, and that's how I built a relationship with him.
Hold that point. We're going to talk more when we come back. Let's take the break. More with Donna when we come back.
Yes.
Boy, sometimes you have questions, and life just has a way of taking time, but it reveals
itself
in good time.
Yes.
Donna, your dad took you in. You were able to build some semblance of a relationship with him.
Definitely.
He passed last year. Do you have closure in that you did what you could to build a relationship with him while?
Okay, I remember the happy times with him. After he actually took me in as his daughter, I was privileged to have certain luxuries. I was privileged to have my own room. I was privileged to have luxury items. I was privileged to a lot of things because back then he had it. I had helper that I never used to. And we built a relationship, not the best father and daughter relationship, because I was growing up, I was a teenager at the time. He was very strict, but he made sure that I had everything necessary. He never was the type of that to hug you and said, "Oh, my daughter, I love you," but he was the type of that to flourish you, to give you things and businesses, etc. And that is what I learned about him. I also saw a different side to him. I never get to ask him why he never liked my mother though, because he just never liked her. Because if I said to him, "I'm going to send, could you give me some money? I'm going to take some money to send groceries for my mother and stuff for her," he would say, "Not my thing." So I would have to go behind his back and send the stuff without him knowing. Until now, when he always never liked her. He never wanted to hear me speak about her. At one point, he never even wanted me to go and look for her.
Well, you lived through that chapter.
Yes.
Then love lured you from there to Mountain View, where you went with your your kid's father.
Yes, my kid's father, Selector.
You have three children.
Kids, yes. I have 4 children.
You have 4 now, because you have Joshie.
Yes,
right,
yes.
You adopted your sister's son. But you were determined not to allow what happened to you to happen to your kids. So anything you had to do.
Yes, wow.
Donna, office attendant work.
Wow.
Hustling downtown.
So when I started having kids, I came from a life of having it to not having it, if you know what I mean. So when I had my first daughter, I started to work in this hairdressing shop. My friend Genevieve, she took me there, and I started to work there. it wasn't enough, but it was enough to take care of her. No, I'm mixing up the story. When I start, yes, it's definitely like that, yes. I started to work in the hairdressing shop. And then it was not enough. I only go like on the weekends, because back then, you know, people never do hair till mostly. And I couldn't satisfy with that. So I was there trying different sort of things to make ends meet with my, I started to, at the time I started to bake puddings and cakes and
Bible say use what is in your hand.
Yes, use what is in your hand, but I never had any big customer.
Yes.
So I never bother with it. I got to work at the airport at that time. I think it was 96. I got to work at the airport, American Airlines Worldwide Flight Service, where I worked, and things began to get better. Eventually...
Cleaning planes.
Yes, cleaning planes,
pushing
loading
people in
on
wheelchair,
bags, pushing a wheelchair, and you know, all the airport work, you get tip. After I left that job, I was at home for a period of time, and I had 1 more, 2 more, 3 more kids. Things got rough, no work. And I said, you know, I'm not sit down right here, so and beg nobody nothing. I go out there. I started selling, go downtown and buy soap powder and sell anything that was in season, bag juice, anything. If the rain or fall, you go try some umbrella. And I could make earrings, and I used to make the earrings, them the cloth one, and at the time everybody wanted to wear them. Everybody bought them, so they were good. At one point, earrings just stopped selling, you know, and I said, I can't sit down like this. So I started selling at school gate, Mona Primary School, and while at Mona, I did about a year at Mona Primary, yes. I got a job. Somebody was leaving a job and said that it was my children's grandmother. She was leaving her job. And she said, that, you can come and work in my space. I'm going to ask them to put you in my space. And actually, when I went there, it was Mr. Stewart's office. I said, wow. Them never used to work with them at Jamaica. At airport, I know everybody here. Because when I was walking, a person was about, Donna Gowe. This one I said, Donna Gowe, people knows me. And when I went up to do the interview, I actually never even do an interview because Arlene Linda, bless her soul, that is Mr. Stewart's personal assistant. She said, oh my God, I know you. You're from the airport. And I just got the job. And that's where
But all those jobs were to prepare you for entrepreneurship. When you started to actually use what was in your hand.
In my hand.
Make your puddings, and you know, one day somebody sent family members to buy puddings from you for somebody in the States, and then from there, hearing it tastes good, they just wanted to buy for somebody else, and then Donna Gowe just started to get money in her hand, give to this person, give to that person, and millions of dollars later.
What happened with that has shocked me because I was just there doing my thing, baking pudding, making juice, exercise. I was a gym freak.
Is it?
Yes. I used to even advertise waist trainers and stuff like that. You know, I don't even know how I reached to this stage. You know, I just drop. Anyway, I used to do the pudding and my vegetables cooking show on IG. As I tell you, social media can help you. And if you put out positivity. So I used to bake and do all the stuff. And persons would watch and say, yeah, I want to find a pudding lady there. Our pudding them look good. So at the time, I used to just video. Anybody come and buy. If you come, there, Simone, all the pudding taste, and you would give me your views, or whether it's bad or good, I would post it. And this lady, I think, she reached out to me. Her name is Hope Nugent, and she said, I would love to buy 2 of your puddings and give them to somebody. For you to give them to somebody. I said, oh. And she said, anybody you wants to give them at the time, although I didn't have it, Simone, back then I always give. I am a giver at heart.
Yeah, Grandma taught you that?
Yes, she taught me that. I'm sorry she's not here to even but I think she's here in spirit. And I gave away the puddings to Miss Richie and her husband and another lady, which 2 of them passed. And I was posting it on WhatsApp, but it wasn't loading. And I said, you know what? Like over IG she purchased it, let me just snap it. And I put it, and at the time it was about a minute. And it went out, and I tell you, it has been uphill
the rest is
since.
history.
Yes.
Well,
and that is how Auntie Donna good deed. And when I started, at first I never knew it was going to be a charity, you know. I never ever call it charity because I was just saying, I'm going a good deed. Somebody say, and person just reaching out to me, give this for me. And the more person saw that the money was given out, they tell a friend and they tell a friend. And this is how it had exploded.
Social media is your quote-unquote office.
Yes,
it's been an interesting experience with you in that space, though, because with all the people that that had sent you stuff and said, my God, Donna, you're doing great work.
Thank you.
People started to, you know, accuse you of all sorts of other things.
All sorts of things, my God.
Which we're going to talk about because, you know, it has made you, even your kids are saying to you, Mommy, stop this now.
Definitely.
Enough of this now.
Yes.
It's time for you to
set
forget about
back.
these people. We'll talk about that and the criticism, but first we wanted to acknowledge and affirm and reinforce just how amazing you are. Yes, sorry, let's go.
Wow.
Hi, Donna. How are you? We are so happy that we are in a position to call ourselves your friend because you are a very special person. You give so many people hope. You do so much good to so many people, and you do it in a very transparent way. I know of many social media personalities, but nobody like you who's really in it with the whole heart and with a mission to make the lives of others better. And you've made our life better since we've known you, and we love you for that.
Donna, continue doing great things. Jamaica is a better place because of you. Because of what you do, you see and hear the cry of the ordinary man, of the people not only in your community but in larger Jamaica. You give hope even to people who may not need your assistance or be beneficiary of your charity program, but just your presence gives so much hope to so many people. And may God continue to bless you. We are grateful for you. We are thankful for you.
One of the things I love about you is that no matter what it is or what you're doing, you always put God in it. Always. Even if it's a joke, you put God in it. I remember just the other day when we went to visit St. Anne at Stush in the Bush. The dogs, they came at you. You saw the dogs and you got scared, your expression and everything about it. And you made a 360 turn. And while you turn, you know who you call for? Jesus! Jesus! Holy Spirit! Holy Spirit! And to me, that's amazing because in that situation, how many people would have called on Jesus? How many people would have called on God? And that's who you are.
Donna, my friend and sister, I just want to take the time out to let you know how much I love and appreciate you. I am grateful to be a part of your life. Throughout the times and years that I have known you, I've known you to be a caring, sharing, and loving person. And once you have love, you have everything, because love moves a multitude of sin. Today, I am so proud of you. And one thing I love and admire about you, in everything that you do, you always put God first.
I just want to say congratulations to the tremendous work that she has put out. I just want to say keep on doing good and keep on being honest and keep on be there for poor people. And I just want to say keep it up, do a good job and be good. God bless. Love you all.
Donna, I appreciate you. I love you. You know, I'm giving God thanks for you. You know, one of the things that I love about you is the passion you have for giving. You know, you are strong, you're beautiful, you know, and you are confident. I love that about you. And you're not afraid to take chances. You know, the sky's the limit for you. I can see that. So Donna, I love you, you know, and you have touched my life in such a way, you know, you might not realize it, or maybe I don't say it to you, you know, often enough, but I'm telling you that I love you.
Donna, it's an honor to be your friend. I have watched your growth. I am very proud of the woman you have become. Your personality shines. You have made a big impact on a lot of lives. You have become many therapists to a lot of us. You make us laugh. You make us cry. You are loved by many, hated by few, yet still you rise.
I just want to say I'm so happy and grateful to have you as my mother. You've been doing so much amazing things, helping people and making changes in their lives. We're so happy for you, every recognition that you've been receiving and accolades, and you will continue to receive. I just want to say keep doing God's work, and all your children are proud of you and your friends and your family, and we really appreciate you and we love you.
I just want to say how much I love you and I'm proud of you. You've been the best mom to us. You're so strong and resilient. Anytime when you're faced with a problem, you're always able to overcome it. And just watching you work, how you love your kids, you always do everything with your strength that God gave you. You always teach us to believe in Jesus Christ, and that no matter what we're going through, we're always able to overcome it. Mama, I just want to say I love you, and I appreciate the love and support that you have always shown me. Show me not to give up. When I cry, you're always there.
Mommy, I love you. You are the best mother in the world.
And Dr. Donna, you take care of me, and may God bless you and give you enough blessings, Donna. You do enough good to me, Donna. You say me that share, but I do that share, Donna. I thank you for the blessing where you give me, and may God bless you, Donna. Thank you very much, Donna. You take care of me.
I just want to tell you thank you, and we're so honored to call you a mom. From watching you become a pillar for the community has been so delightful and majestic. You know, from building houses, shedding light and taking care of the ill, and also helping students pay their tuition fee. It's just so gratifying and grand. You know, thank you for being great-hearted even when the naysayers are, you know, the polluted tongue try to fight against you, but your pure heart and squeaky clean spirit is always going to prevail. But keep on being bright, energetic, and the progressive Nyambad boss. Love you.
Oh, my children, Lord God, I want to thank everybody that. There's so many persons that have stood by my side. I can't even name some of them, but there are so many persons that has stand up with me and want to see the best for me and always encourage me. So it overshadows the negativity, you know, when I see stuff like this, especially my children, you know. My little daughter, she surprises me. She has always said, Mommy, I think you should move from these baby mothers and these people and focus on education, the younger generation. She's always encouraging me in that direction. And to see, they actually never wanted me. They always wanted me to stop when they hear the bashing and the tearing down. And to see, she actually said, Mommy, continue. That's, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, she speak about education.
Nice.
They are very fond of that.
Take your roses, Donna.
Yes.
We're going to find out. I asked you about regrets, if you have any regrets. We'll talk to Donna on the other side about the program and where she's headed, with her kids' feedback. Is she going to keep going?
Yes.
Is she going to keep taking the licks? Is the adoration and the adulation enough? We'll find out from her what's next for her. That's an interesting answer she gave me when I asked her, actually. I'll share it with you when we come back. Wrapping up with Auntie Donna, who you is taking on board all the feedback you're getting from your kids.
Yes.
You say you're not doing away with the program.
No.
You're just going to shift to education is what you're going to shift to.
Yes, I want to shift to education. You see, children are the future, as we always hear them say. And I think I've done enough in certain aspect of the charity, like building houses, helping people. Giving people food is just a part-time thing. What I want to do is help persons to better themselves, to give back to their community or to do something for their community. Like when you help a child who goes to university who has the potential but just cannot find the school fee to pay, and that there's a lot of persons like that, especially from inner city communities who are doing well but don't have anybody to push them. They are doing good with their CXC but don't have anybody to send them to sixth form. Those are the things I want to go in nurses going out there, being a nurse but can't find the university fee, but yet still they have the subjects and the qualification. That's a field I want to go in.
So that's where you're headed.
Yes.
Okay, so she's not going anywhere, folks. She's just shifting focus a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
And while you do that, you continue on your Christian walk, which you say is not always easy. Tell us the people in your life are quarrel with you both say you're a Christian, you have on pants. Seriously?
You know, Christianity is all about the heart. A lot of people don't understand Christianity. Persons look at it as a religion. In the Bible, God searches the heart. He said, and I think in 2 Samuel, it states that God sent to call Samuel. And when he came, there were an objection towards him that saying, oh, God now go use him. And God looked at them and said, man look at the outward appearance, but God searches the heart. I'm not perfect in my Christian walk. I am a sinner. Every day I try to be better than the person I was. I will never judge, condemn, or criticize someone. Christianity, I will speak the truth, and my truth is always not right with a lot of people. Persons look at me and accept me to be this holier than thou, which I'm not. I am still a sinner. I try every day. What I do is I have a relationship with God. Sometimes God just forgive me for doing something right here, and I go right there and I do about the same thing because we are flesh and flesh is weak. So I don't listen to what people have to say about my relationship with God. I know the relationship with God, that I have everything that I have ever asked God to do for me, he has granted it to me, and granted it more than I even asked for. So what people perceive me to be or wants me to be, I cannot be a people pleaser. I have to be somebody who does what I am doing and make sure that God is feel pleased with what I'm doing. And sometimes you not feel pleased. Sometimes I say, Donna, you know you shouldn't do that. Donna, you know, you just ask me to forgive you for that, and you go back. But he's a merciful and forgiving God.
But I asked you if you ever ask him, like, God, what is this big work you give me to do? Why me, Lord?
Well, okay, so I'm glad you touched on that point. As you know, you're a social media person. I have gotten so many things thrown at me. People slander my name. They said all different manner of evil things about me. Persons who have never met me, have never even had a conversation with me. If you listen to social media and you never know about me, you would say I'm this evil person. I'm this bad person, because what they perceive and what they paint me to be. For what? Jealousy. I remember people just call my phone. I don't know them on private, even till this day. Hey, girl, you mash up charity at Jamaica. Hey, girl, you're a scammer. All kind of things. And yet still, if they say I'm a scammer, I said, come to me with your receipt, because I must scam you something. So if I scam you, please tell me the name in which you send the money to, how much you send, and a picture of the receipt. They never calls me back. But let me tell you what's the problem with my program and a lot of persons. I've always hear it. I could never do what you do and don't make something from it.
Right.
I could never get 100,000 to give somebody and I don't get 20. So they go to the extent of calling the persons that I help to say, okay, so when the camera done roll, she go with your money? And they said, no, she didn't. They give me house to build, and every donation that I pick up is never done behind the camera. It's always. And you can go and say, okay, I help Simone. Let me see how much money Simone get throughout her videos. Okay, Simone got $3 million. Let me see the house that Auntie Donna built for Simone with $3 million, pay workers and furnish it. Then come back to Auntie Donna. So they can't do that. When they do it, they say, well, she used $3 million. I was saying yesterday, I can't believe how I used $5 million, 4 million and build houses and furnish it. I don't know, because it cannot happen now. So that is what they hated me for. The amount of donors that are reaching out to me and the donors' money, which is not mine.
But you're doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
And once you are,
yes, you'll always get fight.
No weapon.
No weapon that form against thee shall prosper.
We have to go with this conqueror lady. It's been such a great opportunity to sit and chat and get to know you and find out who Donna is behind the Auntie Donna. I would just wish you all the best. Don't be deterred. Don't be deterred, Donna.
No.
Don't make for talk.
Yes.
You're on a mission. Don't be deterred. Folks, that's it. We'll put the cap on it with our affirmation.
All right. Thank you.
Don't move yet, lady. Let's just close it out the right way. Here we go. Affirmation time. Okay, so giving with love doesn't always mean you get love back. Well, not from man, anyway. But don't let that stop you. For it is in giving that we receive. When we give love, store it above, and give it with a willing heart, right? That's what we're supposed to do. Sometimes we're afraid to give because we fear we don't have enough. But when we think in lack, it clouds our vision. We rise in this life by lifting others, not through handouts, but through hands up. The secret of living is giving. And it doesn't have to be money, it can be time, other things, advice, can be love. Because according to Deepak Chopra, the law of giving is very simple. If you want joy, you give joy. If love is what you seek, you offer love. And if you crave material affluence, you help others becoming prosperous. Plant those seeds of giving and watch your bounty grow. Tonight we are affirming, the wealth I want in my life is the ability to enrich others. And that is what Donna is doing. And that is our soul food and our show for this evening. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Grace, the VM Group and Flo for helping us share these stories and change lives. And we're back here next week with another story of the power of the human spirit. So until that time, every blessing to you. And please remember to count your blessings. Bye, everybody.